right, what's up, everybody? I got my friend Kay with me, Katelyn. Jesus, it's gonna be. This has been one of these interviews that we've been fighting between long distance, work hours, and all this kinds of stuff. But I'm excited to have you on the podcast finally. I do apologize, my boy couldn't come today, but it's just me and you.
Hey.
What's up?
What's up?
Man, tell everybody about you before we hit the music, man.
All right. Well, my name is Katelyn,
Yeah.
and I live in Killeen, Texas. 21 years old. I'm an amateur MMA fighter out of Strkings, and Strkings is located in Copperas Cove. It's about maybe 10 minutes away from Killeen. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's hit this music and we'll get started. All right, Kay, we're back. We're ready. All right, how you been, girl? I know it's been a hard time trying to get you on here. How's everything?
Good.
Good?
Everything's good. I'm in fight camp right now.
I see that.
Yeah.
Full-time fighter.
Yeah.
Full-time fight life. Mm-hmm. Potential future wife.
Right.
Oh, so you gonna put that ring on it or what?
Working on it, We're just cruising. We're about to hit a year in the beginning of November.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're actually gonna celebrate our anniversary at a comedian show, Dino Jokoi.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna go watch the show. I think he's gonna be here in Arlington, maybe, but he's gonna be here in the area.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
That's what's up. So yeah, I do comedy. Nowhere near Joe Coy.
Oh, yeah.
I hope to one day be as good as he is.
Yeah.
One day, but so who are you fighting? What are you fighting? How can people find you? What's going on?
All right, so you can follow me on my fight page on Instagram and on Facebook. It's Killa K MMA for both pages. And yeah, so you can see all my fight news on there. I'll be fighting for the Flyweight Title. I'll be fighting Sarah Davila. We're actually friends, which is pretty interesting.
That's fun.
Yeah, so that should be cool. We actually saw each other compete at the last fight that I did for Empire, but she did a combat jiu-jitsu match as opposed to MMA. I don't know what happened because I know that a lot of the fighters couldn't compete because they were in Florida with the storm and everything like that. So she ended up doing 2 combat jiu-jitsu matches, but overall she's mainly a jiu-jitsu chick. So much respect to her. She's a purple belt. I'm a blue belt. I'm more of a striker. That's what I love to do.
Of course.
But other than that, I mean, I know we're going to have a hell of a fight, because I'm bringing in people from Texas. She's bringing in people from, I think she's in Mississippi, but we're fighting in Louisiana. Okay. So it's right in the middle. We're
neutral ground. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Oh, yeah.
So how long you been doing martial arts, and what got you in?
Okay. Well, let's see. I've been on and off. Every time someone asks me this, it's always I have to explain because I've been on and off. So I started wrestling in high school. Okay. The reason why I started wrestling was because I got bullied a lot. Word. I went through something traumatic to where I lost a lot of friends, and I was like, wow, I need friends. I need something to get my mind off things. My dad, he was the one who got me into jiu-jitsu and got me into combat sports. So when I was in my sophomore year, I started wrestling, and during off season, I started doing jiu-jitsu, and I was like, yeah, jiu-jitsu is awesome. But transitioning from wrestling into jiu-jitsu was so hard because I was getting my back taken all the time. I was getting rear naked choke because of the, getting based out and stuff like that. I was like, this sucks. So then just because of me getting beat up, I wanted to learn more. So I actually leaned in more to jiu-jitsu as opposed to wrestling. And it's crazy how it all worked out because I was competing, but right after, the day after I just got done with a tournament, I did good, got gold and everything. I went back to the gym and some guy I was rolling with, he ended up dislocating my knee and rupturing my ACL and snuck out the door. And so I never know who did it. I don't know like his name or anything. So yeah, so then I took about a year off, had 2 knee surgeries, I was in a wheelchair for a couple months, had to do rehab and everything. And while I was in the wheelchair, you know, I was lifting weights and all that. I didn't want to stop. I mean, you know this.
Yes.
So I kept training, lost a scholarship for Iowa for Waldorf wrestling because of the surgery. So, but it all worked out because after I had that surgery, I ended up training at a gym, a jiu-jitsu gym. They were predominantly like based off jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really getting what I needed out of there for MMA.
Okay.
So I left that gym and I was like, you know, getting frustrated. I was like, I want to start striking. They put me in my first fight at my old gym with only 3 months of training, back from recovery. And I lost that fight. I fought 2 weight classes higher. It was hell of a fight. It was a hell of a fight. And yeah. Oh yeah, I think that fight gave a lot of exposure. You know, they're like, this chick's pretty interesting, you know, as far as fighting. Went all 3 rounds. And after that, I had another knee surgery. My screws were coming out my knee and all that, and you know it. And I think everything happens for a reason, because once I left that gym and realized I wasn't getting what I needed, even though we're still close, you know, we're still close ties. I used to train on posts with all the military people because I was tired of it. Trained over there, trained with just military people all the time. Guys were way bigger than me. And,
makes you tough.
Oh yeah, and left there. And I found my gym, Strkings.
That's what's up.
I was the only female there, and yeah, working with all these guys, you get beat up, but you definitely learn a lot.
That's awesome. Yeah. So you're from Killeen, Texas. Mm-hmm. That's where you're originally from, or
born there? Yeah,
you're born there, and your family's from what? Philippines. Yeah, full Filipino. Ay, Dios mío.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
That means it mistake you for a lot of being Mexican.
Oh, yes. A lot. Everything. Yeah.
But funny thing is, y'all have more in common with like Puerto Ricans. It's an island culture.
We do. we were ruled by Spain. So we have a lot of Spanish. And,
yeah, I know the history. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Man, so what about striking gets you drawn into more, like compared to grappling? Like I love grappling.
Right.
But I started striking first because growing up, my father used to own a Kempo academy, a Kempo karate. That's where I started. Then I did boxing, amateur boxing.
Yeah.
One day I discovered wrestling and jiu-jitsu, and I was like, this is where it's at. I don't want to get punched in the face.
Right.
Why did you go from not getting punched in the face to let's get punched in the face?
I get asked that a lot too. I don't know. I feel like, okay, martial arts in general is very complex, right? There's obviously levels to this. I bet people have not even touched on. And my perspective is, okay, I was so comfortable with like scrambling all the time, just doing like focusing on just ground game, because once you get your feet wet with grappling, you're like, oh, this is awesome. You get to wrap people up.
It's a rabbit hole instead of a black hole instead of a rabbit hole.
Yeah. And I was like, when I first started striking, I was like, ooh, because like angles and stuff like that, just simple stuff. You're like, huh. And me being a shorter fighter, I'm 5'1". Yeah. Everybody's gonna be taller than me.
You're the size of my wife.
Yeah, see, and I'm like, huh. I wonder, people wouldn't expect me to be a striker. I'm like, I would love to just, find ways to get in there. And my uncle, he's Andre Ward's boxing coach.
Ooh.
And Roberto Garcia.
Yeah.
He's in California, and I used to watch him like growing up, like doing the mitts for people and training people. I'm like, this is cool. So just that little like spark, it made me want to learn more.
Yeah.
While I had that background of the ground game, and I'm trying, even now, I'm still trying to find ways to like blend it all together. I just want to be a well-rounded fighter.
So, I don't know, and this is from my experience, and mind you, I've fought a handful of times, and this is like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Coming from a striking background into grappling, almost felt like it gave me an advantage on getting angles for takedowns and all of that. Because a lot of wrestlers, especially I grew up in Florida where the wrestling programs are pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they can scramble, but the weird thing when you transition to MMA, and my experience is, you come in with that striking, and all of a sudden, it's like, oh, wrestlers are really flat-footed.
Yes.
Flat-footed, all of a sudden you just get on your toes and get nothing.
Yeah.
Super basic. Pivots, slide back, and, there goes a double leg, there goes a single leg, there goes a trip. I enjoy it. I think this is why I'm so much. I feel like I have a weird advantage in jiu-jitsu because of that. Yeah. Where like I go back to striking, which I still love. Yeah. But this is not there. It's like we're on an even playing field.
Right.
It's just like I don't like getting punched in the face.
Right.
Never did. I was forced into it, and I just ran away from it.
Yeah.
So now that you got a chance for this title fight, what are you looking to leverage out of the title?
All right, let's see.
What are your goals after the title? This is just the stepping stone of many things.
Of course. I was talking to my coaches when we were flying back for my Mississippi flight. And, he said, well, at first we didn't know it was a title fight. So we kind of just had that fight in the air, recover, take some time off. And we found out about a week later that it was going to be a title fight, and I was like, I've never thought I was going to get... I didn't think I was going to get a title this early anyways. Okay. All right? So then after that, I was just thinking like, this is about to be my 5th fight, and maybe pro is not as far as I was thinking, but I know for a fact that before I transition to go pro, I want to compete in boxing, more jiu-jitsu. I want to do everything before I go pro.
You really want to hone your skills.
Yeah, I want to do Muay Thai. I want to do all of that. I just do everything. Shoot, maybe try to get on the Contender Series, Dana White was at my LFA fight. Yeah. And he did like a surprise showing. Of course, like the fighters knew, but he was there for the Looking for a Fight. Yeah. Which is in fact a really interesting show. But I guess my main goal is just rack up on experience before I go pro. I have no rush. I'm young.
Yeah, you're 21. You're a decade away from your prime. So,
right.
Well, what they consider a prime. But
exactly.
It's insane. I've known you for a few months now, and I've seen you, grow as a martial artist, and seen you really put in the work. It's ridiculous. So, that picture that you posted right before your fight, I'm like, jeez, you got shredded.
Yeah.
Shredded. How bad was that weight cut?
It's actually gotten easier. It's crazy. My first weight cut, I'm over here I don't know if it was just the girl in me, but I'm like, okay, checking my weight. Joseph, I used to bother him all the time, okay, am I good? 10 pounds out while I'm 2 months away. I'm freaking out. But each weight cut has gotten so much easier. And I noticed that my last weight cut, I weighed less than I did before, but I didn't feel as shredded or as dehydrated. And I was asking my coach, shout out to my coaches, by the way, Crew Kassiv, Chadrick Turner, Sal Guerrero. By the way, I was talking to them, and I said, why do I feel heavier, but I'm lighter? And they were like, your body's just transitioning. You're getting lighter.
You're growing. You're still growing.
Yeah. I currently fight at 125. I'm working my way down to 115. This fight is going to be at 120. She's a 115er, a 125er, so we're just going to meet in the middle for that flyweight title. That's
what's up, man. Yeah. I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
Man, so let's see. Who are some of your favorite fighters that you like currently, in the past, that you like to fight? We know it's going to be Pacquiao. Move past Pacquiao.
Right.
Let's
it's
talk
a given.
It's a given. I like Pacquiao, but it's just I like Tito, Trinidad, and Cotto.
Yes.
But beyond that, let's get past the flags. Who do you like to fight? Who do you like to see? Who do you like to study? And who are influences that you're like, oh, I like the way this person does that, and I want to try to do something like that.
Right. Okay. Let's see. I'm really big on what's his name?